This episode originally aired on April 8th, 2022 on the Unethical Patreon. Our client today is Morgan Freeman. Yes, Morgan Freeman, who's played by comedian JP Brown. Find him on Instagram at this is JP Brown.
I'm fucking happy to have you. Rick's the one with the red shirt, and he's super pumped to see you too. Look at him.
Oh, dude. When Richard starts talking, I just tune it out until he says my name.
Can't get out of my goddamn head that Abigail. I've been calling the prison. I called the police. No one ever picked up Abigail. Like, where the fuck did Abigail end up? Who the fuck was that guy?
Well, it's not like you don't normally make bad decisions, so this is just another one in a string of probably worse ones. This is probably the least bad decision that you've made and the least bad occurrence that's come from it. That's comforting, right?
Well, those sound like pretty bad decisions. That must be really bad decisions then.
They are bad decisions. Who the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just couldn't help but overhear y'all talking about somebody named Abigail missing. And then you made a little quip about bad decisions being like girls missing. And I thought I'd just step in and say, hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. How y'all doing?
He's fucking Morgan Freeman. Hi.
I'm absolutely Morgan Freeman. Yep. Nice to meet you.
Richard, you seem surprised. This is why we chose this bar to hang out in. This is the bar that Morgan Freeman will randomly appear to you in.
All the time. This is one of my favorite watering holes.
You're not supposed to tell him I came here to stalk him. We're supposed to pretend he's surprised. That's why I'm surprised.
Wait, what?
Nothing. I didn't know you were here ever.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's good then. All right. So what are y'all drinking? First round's on me.
I was actually drinking the signature drink here, Morgan Freeman's Tears.
Morgan's. Oh, that's one of the favorites. That is definitely all the rage.
I do hear it grants wishes.
I did it myself. It was me and a handful of geniuses, and we made it happen. A lot of sad movies went into the process of making that drink, but that's neither here or there.
Thanks for the drink. You know what we could do for you, Morgan Freeman? We solve crimes, my man. We solve mysteries.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's incredible. I didn't hear about that.
I'm stuck on this Abigail thing for now, but I mean, if you got something you want us to solve, I could definitely take care of that for you. We could definitely take care of that for you.
I think I gave up all my crime-solving days back in Chicago in the movie 7. That whole case took a toll on me, kind of. I mean, I didn't show it. I never really show it, ever. But unfortunately, that might have been the time where I hang up my revolver.
Does that mean that everything that happened in the movie 7 actually happened in real life to you and they just filmed it?
It's a possibility. I won't say yes. I won't say no.
Because Kevin Spacey might kill you.
Because Kevin Spacey might kill me. If he gets out, of course.
Anyways, the offer's still there, Morgan. Can I call you Morgan, Mr. Freeman?
Absolutely. You can call me Morgan. You can call me Morgan Freeman. You can call me Mr. Freeman. You can call me Morgan Free. That's my hip-hop name.
Well, Mo Free.
Why didn't I think of that one before? More Free.
Mo Free.
Mo Free. I like that.
All right.
You're a good kid.
Thanks, Mo Free. If you want me to solve a crime for you or anything that's been itching at that beautiful brain of yours, you let me know.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, there's been one crime that's been racking my brain for centuries. That's how long I've been around. I'm God. Anyway, it's the case of Narumi Takumi and Megumi Yashiki. I know it sounds delicious, but unfortunately, these are two real people. And something really terrible happened to the both of them, and I'm sad.
Well, you know what, God or Mo Free, I think I know who you're talking about. I've been researching this for actually weeks already. I just have to mull it over with the boys, and we'll come back to you. I know you sit over in that corner. I mean, I'm pretty sure your drink's over in that corner, right? So
it is. I'll have to run and go get it. I'll be right back. Let me just go get it.
It's okay. I don't want God watching me over this entire time.
Oh, okay.
Scary. We're actually waiting for a friend who's taking your spot.
Oh,
yeah. No offense, but thanks for the tears.
Oh, no.
I'll come see you. I'll come see you at the end, and we'll tell you what we came up with.
Oh, absolutely. Please do. I'd love to hear it.
An elite team of private detectives.
What if balloons are aliens? Maybe that's the key component we're missing.
Cover-ups.
John's guilty.
Mysteries that need to be solved.
Maybe Mormons need mountains.
Richard, shut up.
here was a little different for me because I started researching a different topic to do the show, and then I was like, there's not really much to it. And then I started looking at other things, and then I got to this other case. So I kind of have like a couple things jammed together, and you'll see. So it's going to sound like long-winded to get to the actual case, but in reality, it's all interesting, and it's all backstory, lots of culture stuff because it's Japanese, and I didn't really understand why things were happening. And I had to research a word, and then I went, you know what I mean? It just leapfrogged from there. And I didn't want to do anything North American. I wanted to do something a little bit like something I don't know, because you hear about all the Western stuff. I don't really hear too much Japanese culture, Chinese culture, stuff like that.
So you kind of want to go off the beaten path a little bit, and
yeah. So I started looking into Japan and hauntings, because that's where the original thing started. And then I found out pretty quick that Japan's summer season is their spooky season. It's not like October like us. It's like when it's hot out, that's when it gets spooky in Japan.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they have all sorts of traditions around in the summertime that revolve around like ghosts and stuff. Like in mid-August, they have a tradition called Obon or Bon, and it's a Japanese Buddhist custom to honor the spirits of one's ancestors. They figure hotter weather, thinner the veil between alive and dead. So I like that.
Jeez. Oh my God, my friend was right. They do work their asses off too much over there. Jesus. The time during the summer, we're supposed to be like chilling, smoking some weed, having some beer, kicking your feet up, getting a tan, having a swim, clapping some cheeks, whatever. And instead, they're just, hey, let's conjure up these spirits and talk to dead people. It's like, no, I'm finished. I want to finish my mojito.
That's how they relax, man. They're just like, I just want to take a nice break from all of the stress at work and then add a ton of stress in my off time.
Exactly.
The only thing that satisfies me and makes me happy.
Yes.
They say that actually to be scared actually chills your spine, like gives you a sweat, so it actually cools you down. That's like the reasoning, like one of the reasonings behind it.
That sounds like something somebody made up when they found out they did it in the summer.
No, it's a Japanese thing. There's a lot to it. Like, so during Obon, it's in August, and they go visit their, like, they say the spirits come back to visit their loved ones. So they go, like, they go to the grave site and visit their ancestors, bonfires, cleaning off the graves, dancing, eating. It's a big party. Obon's a big one in Japan.
Opening a portal between the real realm and the spectral realm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Exactly.
Instead of sleeping, they just wear VR goggles and watch The Ring for 8 hours straight.
Yeah, so summer's their not only spiritual time, but it's like they have a lot of tradition to tell ghost stories, or kaiden as they call them. Now the Japanese believe being scared is a good way to combat the summer heat. I just said that. Yeah, good kaiden are so scary they chill the listener down to their spine.
Have they not heard of sunscreen or even just like going? Nobody has AC over there.
Yeah,
nobody.
Ice, just ice.
Shade.
Come on,
Ice. You know, take an ice bath. You know, like an MMA fighter, just jump in the ice bath and you're good to go.
Yeah, so in Japan too, like that's when all the horror movies come out for them. Like it's just the spooky season. Like all those movies, like The Ring or The Grudge, or all like you're saying, those are all based off of kaiden. Or are actually kaidens themselves.
Oh wow!
And then I started learning about kaidens, and then I started getting into. I learned a tradition in the summer. It's called Kimodameshi, and that literally translates to the liver test, but it's more of like a test of courage.
The liver test. That sounds like something that involves a lot of alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a lot. Have you tried sake? Oh my God.
That's a liver test for sure. A sake's a liver test for sure.
I can't. Even when it's cold, I'm just like, okay, I feel like I'm being stabbed by their ancestors as it goes down. You know? I feel like my stomach is just getting haunted by oni. You know what I mean? It's like this is not good.
Yeah, Japanese people are hardcore, man.
They are pretty hardcore.
No wonder their characters all sound like, oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. No.
On the subject of anime, I am looking at these pictures of Japanese school children. I was not aware that they actually wore those uniforms.
Yeah.
Or maybe they didn't start wearing them until after they invented anime.
Was that a tab you already had to open?
Oh yeah. That was from last night. Not even before I didn't even know we were doing an episode on. I didn't know it had anything to do with Japan.
He's totally got some hentai pictures up on a tab, just so you know.
Yeah. Well, no, it's actually my Amazon shopping cart. I'm gonna dress up like a Japanese schoolgirl.
Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There we go. You know,
Yeah,
I expect
so-
I expect to have those schoolgirl pictures in my Dropbox by Friday. Yeah, just him, just like, or what? No, sorry.
I will
what is
not
it?
shave my legs, but
There
okay.
you-
Yes, that's why I'm here.
So sitting through like the ring or like a Kaden of any type is basically a form of Kimodameshi, right? It's a liver test in itself. But there's more interactive ways to participate in a Kimodameshi.
Kimodameshi.
So what you do is you'll go to like spooky places and face your fears. Like spooky places are like, it doesn't have to necessarily mean like a haunted house. It could just be somewhere that's dark at night. The bigger the scarier though, the bigger your liver or courage or whatever the fuck they want to call it.
Do they not know what hearts are?
Yeah, no, a heart's for other, that's for love. Liver's for fear in Japan.
That is so. I wonder like what other cultures like place like emotional importance on just random organs. Like that terrified me to my spleen.
Yeah. Spleen's for sadness, stupid. No, I'm just kidding.
I know it in my gallbladder that this is true.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the idea of that. I mean, on one side, that sounds like an amazing idea, like, you know, to conquer your fears and stuff. And I guess kind of desensitize you to anything scary is just, yeah, let's go to like some spooky places and stuff. And, you know, just scare the fuck out of you. And then, you know,
I think it's kind of fun. I wish we did that here. I think that's cool.
there's certain, I could just picture me just being like pretty much, so you're basically, you want us to go to every dark corner of my house. That's what you guys want to do. Cause like, I don't know if you guys have ever had those moments, even when you're a kid, or even sometimes when you're adults, where it's just like you're walking, you know, and it's like, okay, it's nighttime, it's hella late, and you know you have to shut this basement light out before you go upstairs, and you look around in the basement, and it's all like, you know, just aged wood and stuff, and some stuff over here, and there's something,
sure.
There's a pile of clothes that looks like it could move.
Especially when you're a kid, because you have such a huge imagination. Like I remember going to my basement as a kid being like, all right,
Yep.
1, 2, 3, run down, get whatever I need, run back up.
Yeah, and you're gone, you know.
Yeah.
I do
Hell
that
yes.
now when I'm doing laundry. I'll just think about it too hard. Like even just in my head passing, I'm carrying the laundry basket. I'm just like, if something was just behind me right now, and I'm already running. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
same. Like, yeah, there's so many, even especially like, oh, I'm hearing that spooky, eerie music that was in the movie I saw the other day. Oh shit, now I gotta run. And then you get that chill in your spine. It's like, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, it's so relaxing. I've never felt so refreshed and at ease. Those moments.
One popular Kimodameshi in Japan is going to the Aokigahara forest. Someone suggested that I do this as an episode, and then I decided against it because there's not really much to it. But I'll go through it anyway.
That's
The suicide forest.
the
Yeah.
suicide forest.
It
Holy
is the
shit.
suicide forest. So the Aokigahara forest has a reputation as a home to yurei, Japanese mythological ghosts. All ghosts in Japan are yurei, but there are categories of yurei depending on how they died or why they're still on Earth, if they had unfinished business or whatever. Like the Uboom, ghosts of mothers who died in childbirth. Like they have a specific ghost for that. Or the Yashiki Warashi, ghosts of children. You know, just different sections of yurei. So the yurei, I just found that really cool that we just go ghost.
Yeah, they have genres.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm picturing those ghosts of mothers who died during childbirth coming back to their kids and treating it like, and treating them like, you know, like those labels that you try to peel off a jar or something, and you want to get a clean peel and stuff, and all of a sudden it just rips, and then you're just left with like half a rough end of a sticker.
Yeah.
So these mothers are just like, wow, you had to be a bitch to come out of me, didn't you? You really had to be. Like you could have been so much easier.
They nag haunt you, like as if you killed me.
Exactly. Like, dude, you got a C+ in math. What is wrong with you? Oh my god.
Yeah, they sneak up on you while you're doing a stupid podcast, and like, this is what you're doing with it. This is what I died for.
Exactly.
This is why I'm dead.
Like, where did I go wrong? What did I do? Come on.
Yeah.
I worked 18 hours a day, 15 days a week.
Now you're a podcaster.
Exactly. Thanks for that. I gave my life for this. Say again, idiot. We get in trouble for that. You know what I mean? So the Yurei that are in the Aokigahara forest are said to be vengeful ones. What they'll do is they'll try to lure people off the path so that you get lost in the dense forest forever. And I don't know why the forest became the suicide forest, if it was because of the Yurei pulling people off, or if it's because of actually the suicides. I don't know if that what came first, the suicide forest or the actual suicides. I'm going to go with probably the suicides, but I'm not sure. You know what I mean? I don't know if they just called it a suicide forest and everyone's like, oh, now it's a suicide forest. Let's go kill ourselves there. Because it's one of the most popular places in Japan. It's world famous. And it's one of the most popular places in Japan. It is the most popular place in Japan to kill yourself. One of the most popular places in the world to kill yourself.
Wow.
In 2003, Japan recorded over 100 suicides in that forest in that year.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot. And in recent years, the Japanese don't publicize how many people commit suicide because they don't want to promote the trend or worry tourists, because it is a tourist trend.
Thank goodness, because last thing you want is a bunch of tourists over there, like Hollywood Boulevard, outside of the Chinese theater, and they're all just taking.
So is this confirmed suicides, or are they just saying? Are they just saying because you're in this forest? It's suicide?
they're hanging and stuff like. It's mostly there's notes and everything. Like some of them probably. You're probably right. There could be some murders in there that look like suicides in Japan.
I couldn't even imagine promoting that as as a tourist attraction. It's a great hangout spot.
Nowadays they have signs everywhere along the path. It's like, think of your family, or don't do it, or whatever fucking slogan. Whatever slogan.
Could you imagine going there and having no idea it was suicide forest, and you get all these weird fucking like, don't do it, think of your family, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
A couple of signs there saying you're better off dead, and just like
just somebody like going there and carving that in the tree. Go this way, no one watches.
Oh my goodness.
Just as a little because I was like, this is fucking outrageous, the suicide forest. And this is why I question whether the suicide forest name came first or if it's because of the suicides, because suicide has a long tradition in Japan. It's not looked at the same way as it is here.
Right.
Like samurai in fucking the 1200s
commit seppuku.
600s would seppuku. Yeah. They would just fucking kill themselves so they wouldn't be either A, taken by the enemy, or B, if their king was killed, they would do it in if he's dead, I'm dead too. I fucked up. You know what I mean? It was like an honor thing.
Meanwhile, the king is up there in the after, like, no, you idiot! You just decreased our number even more. Now we have less soldiers. Oh my god!
There's no way a king would do that. No way a king would be like, "Thank you for coming up here. You're a good servant. Now come serve me in heaven. Rub my feet."
Yeah,
exactly. Or whatever. You know what I mean? The king's not gonna be like, "Wow, you should have stayed." No, he's gonna be, "Thanks for coming, dude. You're hooking me up now. Be my samurai."
He's like, thank goodness I'm finally up here with people I know. Oh my god, dude, do you have any idea how awkward it is standing in the middle of the dance floor by yourself? Like, come on, bro.
There's so many people calling themselves kings up here. It's unreal.
Exactly.
I'm clearly the king. I just got here. But I started looking into seppuku. I was like, oh, it probably ended around 1600s. No, it continued right to World War II. Soldiers and civilians would commit suicide instead of face to feet. They would just blow their fucking brains out. World War II. The most recent seppuku I could find was in 1970. This novelist named Mishima Yukio disemboweled himself to protest against what he believed to be a loss of traditional values in Japan. That's how right wing he was. He was like, "Nah, empire, man. What are we doing here?"
He really showed them.
I mean, that's a hell of a protest. Here's how dead serious I am about tradition.
Exactly. Here's one tradition.
And now that everyone who cares about tradition is dead, let's move on with our lives.
Here's the funniest part about that story. I didn't write it down, but I was reading it today. It's fucking so dumb. He went into some army building with three other guys, and they locked themselves in there. They barricaded the door, and then he went up on top of like a podium or whatever. Like they had like a crow's nest or whatever, something up there, and he looked down on everyone, gave this big rah speech like, we should go back to traditional values, join with me everyone, we'll go and we'll storm the Capitol, we'll get an empire again. And all the soldiers just laughed at him. They were like, nah, well, look at this fucking guy. They just laughed at him, and he went to the commander's office. He barricaded himself in there. He's like, sorry, commander, I got to do this. And he's like, okay, man. And he's like, I'm coming to seppuku. And he like cuts his fucking gut open, does the disemboweling thing. And what you're supposed to do is get like your commanding officer or whoever you're doing it to like cut your head off if they respect you. So the commander's like, okay, I'm going to cut your head off, man. He goes to cut his head off. After 3 chops, he couldn't do it. It's like, you know what? You're dead.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, come on. Oh, you know what? No.
We don't even use these anymore. We use guns. I'm not.
These are decorative swords. What do you have me doing here?
That would be worse than just dying.
I know, it's horrible. It's so sad. And then the other 3 guys that were supposed to do it with him were like, the one guy was like, I'm not gonna let you die by yourself. He's like, don't do it. He's like, okay. And then the other 2 just didn't do it. So yeah,
that sounds like a perfect character in one of those 80s action films where it's like, you know, they're getting overtaken by the enemy and stuff, and one of them's like, he's got his like leg just like riddled with bullets and stuff, and he's trying to make it, and they're just like, come on, you gotta, and he's like, no, you gotta leave without me, just leave me here. And then they're just like, yeah, all right, cool, and they leave.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. It's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's not really tradition to like commit suicide there anymore, but it's not as taboo as it is here. It's more of like viewed as a way of taking responsibility, I guess.
I just love the complete lack of any sort of effort from everyone else to try and stop him from doing it.
yeah. And to this day, suicide is like less taboo. It is taboo, but I mean, it's not as bad as it is here, but it's still not cool to exploit. So we were talking about Logan Paul for a second there. Logan Paul, famous YouTube douche, went to Japan on vacation and maybe take some videos, I guess. He documented the whole trip pretty well, and honestly, he was being an asshole the whole time. Now, I have the video queued up if you guys want to watch. Someone put together a 2-minute video.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Does it show like
no,
the shit?
It doesn't show. No, it doesn't do that.
Go
this
for
is
it.
him.
You fucking coward.
I meant more so for the people who would watch it on Patreon, whether we were going to give a warning of like how.
Well, what the fuck are they paying for if not dead bodies, dude? Like that's why all my subscription services are. I mean,
I'll pay more for the dead body.
Yeah, like
exactly. It's just like YouTube Premium.
Yeah, the free one should be paid for, because then if they don't want to see the dead bodies, they should have to pay to remove them.
Yeah,
what year did this happen? Also, because I feel like Logan Paul bounced back pretty fucking quickly.
2015, I believe.
I mean, he's rich. There's really no downward spiral once you have that much money.
Right, exactly.
Kanye.
This is what he did before. Like, okay, I'll just give it away for a second here. He goes to the fucking suicide forest. We know this, okay? But this is what he was posting before he even went there, okay? He was being an asshole before he even fucking went there.
I just gotta be careful to not like disrespect the culture. Japan is all about the respect.
Oh my God.
The dumb Americans have arrived. Look good. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just
God.
Gotta be careful to not like disrespect the culture. Tokyo is a real life cartoon. It's gonna eat the GoPro. What did he do? No. You know how it is in Japan. They're all about the respect. We're gonna be respectful. LoganPaul.com/shop. Look, they just got loaves of bread. I'll take the whole thing.
Oh, Lord.
This one is just for a display.
Oh, so we're gonna be respectful. The Game Boy Color. How much? 9,500. Excuse me, sir. The game seems to be malfunctioning. Mucho broken, though. Toyota, I choose you. No. Okay, get him. Get him.
Oh God.
He's throwing Pokeballs at Japanese people.
I choose you.
Anyways, you get the point. I don't have to show the rest because I just wanted you guys to see he's being a fucking super asshole, right?
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
I've never seen his stuff before, but just watching it, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, wow, dude.
It's fucking lazy comedy too. Like,
yeah. hey, look at me be a stupid asshole to these people, and they're oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's fucking tantamount to the old Borat not joke. Like it's so fucking dumb. Like, oh, we gotta be respectful. Immediately fucking racist as shit. Just
unbelievable.
So,
yeah, if I was president, I would allow them to kill him and just that'd be cool.
Right.
risk international incident. Who gives a fuck? Let's kill Logan
I
Paul.
don't think it'll even be an incident because it's like the president let him kill an American citizen, and I would just show the video on like the State of the Union, and they'd be like,
exactly.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logan Paul mysteriously dies from falling upstairs.
What does he do next? You guessed it. Went to the Aokigahara, and when he was there, immediately found a dead body. He stopped filming immediately, and he called the officials. Just kidding. He was being a fucking asshole about it.
Did he post that then?
He definitely did.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He was wearing his stupid alien toy from Toy Story hat because his audience is children, showing them fucking suicide.
Oh wow, brilliance.
Yeah, he posted on his YouTube on December 31st, 2017, which spurred a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
He removed the video a day later after 6.3 million views.
Jesus.
Damage was done though. A bunch of people tried to cancel him, like almost 1 million signatures on change.org to get him canceled from YouTube.
Yeah, there was no damage done though. He's fucking still.
He's still on WWE, appearing on SmackDown and Raw, like
For sure. But he was doing a major motion picture. He was starring in a major motion picture just as this is going. He lost that.
Oh wow.
He got
Excuse me,
demonetized from YouTube.
I highly doubt it's a major motion picture. What was the film and who was the production company? Because it was probably
He
a
got
fucking
kicked off.
YouTube original or some goddamn god awful.
You're probably right. It was a feature film. I don't think he was doing fucking like the next Spielberg. But he just got kicked off a movie. I don't know what movie it was. He got kicked off it though. I'm pretty sure it was something to do with YouTube though. I think now that you're saying that, I'm pretty sure it was like him playing himself in a movie kind of thing. Not like himself, but like himself.
Right.
He's still a pretty big douchebag. I just wrote that he's doing well for himself. The only thing that's been awesome about that guy since that happened is in 2021 when fucking Floyd Mayweather punched him in the head a bunch. I really liked watching that. If you guys want a palate cleanser of watching Floyd Mayweather punch him in the head a couple times, I definitely have that queued up too.
It's too bad though. It was just an exhibition match and stuff. It was too bad. It was so like staged and stuff. You know, like, but because it was just like, oh man, I would have loved to see Floyd Mayweather just
beat the
that's why I feel like that was a problem with the way that everything was promoted because they should. Logan Paul is such like a self-centered prick. I feel like we could have gotten him to agree to having Floyd Mayweather just show up at any point throughout a year and fuck him up in his driveway. Like that would have been far more preferable. Like anytime from January 1st to December 31st, he's just gonna pop by while you're holding groceries.
Yeah, that'd be
let me help you with that. Boom. Liver shot, overhand right. Down he goes.
Just Mayweather's uppercut right here is awesome. There you go. That was worth the price of admission right there. Should we watch it one more time just because he gets fucking bopped? Right, good.
Woo.
Oh god, that's awesome.
God damn.
That's amazing.
Woo.
Anyways, I was happy when that happened. But I mean, he took 8 rounds of Floyd Mayweather punch in the face. I don't even care, man. That's pretty tough. I don't know if Mayweather would want to. I think Mayweather would probably be happier in the ring against Logan Paul. He's a pretty big boy. And with death in your eyes because someone's coming to your house, I don't think like Floyd Mayweather's not a young man. And yes, he's not as big as him. I think the ring's probably a better place. Logan Paul, like, yes, he's a douchebag, but he's huge. He's a big dude.
Oh no, for sure.
I mean, yeah, but I saw both of their faces in that just now, and one of them was completely fine with everything happening, and the other one wasn't. So
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I mean,
boxing has rules, though. That's all I'm saying.
Especially when I see his brother Jake Paul going up against somebody like Ben Askren, like an MMA fighter, a retired MMA fighter who was never really a striker anyway. You know what I mean?
They're hype boys.
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying like they could be tricked into doing stupider, more dangerous shit because whole brand is just attention. Give me attention, and if we're not paying attention to you unless you fight a gorilla and a grizzly bear at the same time inside of an
Exactly.
electric fence, then we'll pay attention to you. They'll be
Right.
like,
It's like, we want
okay,
you-
and then they're gone. There's no more
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. We want you to go to Thailand and fight in a traditional Muay Thai fight with a fighter who's had over 400 fights. No gloves. It'll be all rope, hemp rope tied around the knuckles and wrists. And the traditional way. Dipped in glue, shards of glass. You know,
The tradition.
yeah.
Or better
Traditional
yet,
glass fighting.
better yet, we'll watch everything you do if you do everything you did in the Japanese video in China. Go and do that, and then we're on board.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll never come back.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's basically like the suicide force just is kind of tragic. There's really not much to it. There's no like, there's ghosts that haunt it. Okay, we can't really solve a mystery. It's either ghosts or people just killing themselves. I'm going with people just killing themselves. So
I think what people get wrapped up about is the fact that it's just like it's happened a lot there or whatever. So then that like throws everyone into like some kind of like ooh tizzy about it. But really, like, I mean, if you're gonna kill yourself somewhere, I think like a beautiful Japanese forest is the way to go, right? Like,
yeah, and here there's a couple reasons it's got more to it too. It's because the Japanese don't go there every day and clean it up. They do it once a year. So there's lots of people finding the dead bodies too, right? It's not like,
wait a minute. They only check for dead bodies in the suicide forest once a year?
Once a year,
Holy shit.
I mean, I'm lucky if I check my basement for dead bodies every 2 years. So
Yeah.
how often do you
I
check
mean,
your house for dead bodies?
Just about every day.
Just about every day? Yeah.
I mean, just casually walking through, I feel it's not checking for bodies. They're not checking.
That's what
They're cleaning them up.
They said they were
They
doing.
know. It's like cleaning off your counter. It's not, is there food
Put it this
residue?
way, I'm
It's,
sure if
I need to
somebody-
clean it today because there is food
I mean,
residue.
eventually, you know how advanced their technology is already. So pretty soon they'll just be like combing through the forest, kind of like when bowling, when it's like you knock all the pins down and then some of them are still left there. So there's that big machine that just comes
Just
and
restacks
clears
it,
all
yeah.
of them down. Yeah, that's basically what they're gonna do with the bodies.
Just a roving tower
Just
with
like-
robotic arms, just like picking
Yep.
them up and like
just-
wrapping them.
Just drag them into the lake. That's it.
Oh, that's so much worse.
So there's really
Oh.
like I said, there's not much to there's no conspiracy here. It's just a nice place to kill yourself. If you want to kill yourself, Japan has a suicide past. It's not really much to it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'd be more concerned if like they kept finding dead bodies like in front of like a particular McDonald's in Japan. Like that would be much more concerning than like a beautiful forest. If just like every day you woke up and like unlocked the door as a manager to a specific McDonald's and then just a dead body drops down in front of you. Like
that would be cleaned up every day.
That would be cleaned up every day. You're right. You would hope. You would hope they had the standards for that. I'm not going to confirm that, but
That's a whole new meaning to Happy Meal toys.
Exactly.
How did you just wait?
They have the weirdest Happy Meals in Japan. Anyways.
Yeah, just a commercial with aggressive Japanese voiceover and a child playing with a finger, like
Ba-da-ba-ba-bow. That's it.
As I was researching this, that's how I figured out about Kimodameshi, the test to liver, because it's a very popular place to go. And then I started reading about that, and then I realized this is practiced by many people of all ages across the whole of Japan, and it's usually played in groups, which I found interesting. So it's kind of a game. So you and your buddies, you all go to a place, and you freak yourselves out, and whoever can stay there the longest is basically the winner. So this is where the mystery starts today, with a couple of girls who decided they were going to go on a Kimodameshi. They wanted to go scare themselves, have some fun in the summer. On May 5th, 1996, 19-year-olds Megumi Yashiki and Narumi Takumi planned to head to a known psychic spot to take part in a Kimodameshi. The psychic spot in Japan doesn't necessarily have to do with psychics or like haunted or anything. It's just like a place that might be cursed, haunted, cursed, some sort of paranormal thing with it. It's not psychics. It's more paranormal-ish.
Jeez. Just that, like, that's the idea that they thought of doing for their summer getaway, their summer fun. It's like, I mean, I guess you can only play so many rounds of Dance Dance Revolution, but it's just
no. But that I think it's fun. I think that's fun. They'll go into like a haunted house with your buddy and going to like. I think that's a fun way to go. Like a little trip. They're gonna go to a little trip like to the next town over, not that far over, to go to making an overnight trip and go kind of get scared. Like I put it this way, I'm not scared of. I don't think things are haunted, so it would be just like let's go to some abandoned building and drink, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
too.
when you put it like that, again, I don't see a reasoning for that.
Yeah. And, so many more comfortable places than an abandoned building to enjoy myself.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like a weird like let's go scare ourselves if we can. Maybe there is a ghost. I don't know. It seems fun to me. I would do something like that, honestly. If I went to Japan and somebody was like, Kimodameshi, you'd be like, fucking right. Like, where's the scariest liver place? Give me some liver test.
It sounds like the making of a horror film for sure. It sounds like, hey, yeah, we're going to this forest just to scare. What could go wrong? You know?
Don't you worry, Richard. I also grew up white trash. I understand the concept of going to places that are abandoned to do drugs and drink alcohol.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? It's like, leave me behind. I've already seen what happens to black dudes in horror movies. So you know what? I'll be back here.
Yeah, that's true.
Call me if you need me.
A bunch of white guys trying to take the black guy to the forest for a horror movie.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm smarter than that.
It's like, nah, you know what? I'll stay out here. Hit me up if you need anything, okay?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, they were heading to the city over, which is Himi City. They're both from Himi City, and they were going to Owozu City, which is like 35 miles, 60 kilometers east, to go to an abandoned and supposedly haunted hotel named the Subono Spa Hotel. Now, the Subono Spa Hotel was opened in the 1970s in the mountainous areas of Owozu. The hotel, from what I can gather, with these translated Japanese websites, because I did do a lot of Japanese research going like, Google, translate this page for me.
Nice.
So there's a lot of that this episode. But it was built on top of some natural spring of the same name, Subono Mineral Spring. And it's said to, by the local people, they say it has medicinal properties, like helping with gastro, which I found was funny. It's like the only thing they mentioned. The hotel itself was 6 stories high, 3,300 meters squared. I don't know what that is in feet squared, but I think it's like a 10,000 square feet.
Okay.
Built behind an old historic castle. It's a beautiful location. If you want to look up the hotel, it's super nice. It's on like a mountain. It overlooks the whole like province. Basically, that's what they say. The Tayoma prefecture.
Built behind a historic castle. What castle was it? Does it?
The castle didn't really get. I should have got more into it.
A bunch of dudes in that castle just still trying to wear these ancient ass robes and stuff, being like, "I'm the shogun, respect me, honor me," and everyone's just like, "Yeah, all right, whatever, man." Just everyone's going by.
Unfortunately, the place really never caught on. It was kind of in the mountains, probably costed too much, whatever it was, and it only lasted about 12 years, and it was closed in 82. Never sold ever. And it was a lot to tear down. It was like 25 million 1982 yen, and the city didn't want to shoulder that expense. I don't know how much that is in American dollars. I should have looked it up. I usually do. I just didn't this time. I forgot to. So it just sat there to rot, got it all boarded up. Now they just refer to the building. They don't like the Japanese people, the locals don't refer to it as the spa anymore. They call it the Subono Mineral Spring. So I had to tell you about the spring because that's what they call it all the time. It's actually the building. So over the years, the big abandoned building has become creepier and creepier. It started to be taken up by the seedier parts of society, like drug dealers, drug users, delinquents go in there and spray paint all the time
because they don't believe in wasting things. Waste not, want not. You know, it's like, hey, somebody put away this perfectly good building. Let's run our drug ring through here. Yeah, let's
exactly. Smart, exactly. The Bosozuku would spend their time there, causing havoc, vandalizing, and setting off fireworks inside. Now, the Bosozuku is a biker gang that gained popularity in Japan during the 80s and 90s. 75% of this gang was said to be between the ages of 16 and 20. So kids.
Damn.
Despite that, they were said to be very organized and have ties with the Yakuza.
So they see they're thinking ahead. They're planning ahead. Just like, yeah, look, it makes them look like they're just a tiny little gang. But meanwhile, say, hey, have you heard of the Yakuza? Yeah, we got them behind us. They're backing us now.
They're not a tiny gang in the 80s, man. they're basically like the Hells Angels of their time, but instead of leather suits and Harleys, they're more like greaser kids outfits from the 50s, American 50s. And they drove around these weird, illegally modified Japanese motorcycles with like high handlebars, but like they're speed race. But it's fucking weird. But they're dressed like greasers, like they're in the movie Grease. It's fucking weird. But
I find it funny how they're apparently vandalizing things in an abandoned building. Is it really considered vandalism at that point? I mean, the building's been abandoned for like eons.
The city owns it. You know, it's still somebody else's.
But no, that I'm tracking that, because that's sort of just like, we're bad guys. We go into dark garbage dumps and dump garbage everywhere. Like,
exactly.
It's just a fucking like.
That's not the only thing these guys would do. That yes, they did definitely do that, but they were like annoyance to the street. Like, they had to make new laws to fucking stop these guys from driving around their modified. They had 42,000.
No pompadours.
No pompadours.
It's an illegal haircut.
Those handlebars are too wide. Bring them in closer. Thank you. Yeah.
And like 80s and 90s, they had like 42,000 members. They still have a presence today, but they're down to just less than 7,000 members due to new traffic laws that target motorcycle gangs in Japan. Like you have to have all the pieces or you get arrested. Helmets have to be worn, all sorts of things. So now they don't drive motorcycles anymore. They drive around scooters.
Nice.
Awesome.
I love that. They're like, scooters don't have laws. Fuck you, cops. We look tough now.
Exactly. And the cops are just sitting there going like, "Oh, stupid loopholes."
Yeah.
You know?
Fucking 35 mile per hour high speed chase.
Exactly.
Like I said, I don't think they have Yakuza connections anymore. I think they're just a bunch of kids on scooters now. But in the 80s and 90s, apparently they're a very dangerous little gang. And all the scary stuff happening up at the boarded up motel, like with all the whatever, it started to get a reputation of being a psychic spot to the locals. And I don't know if it's just like the superstition or like just ignorance of poor people being up there doing drugs and shit. You know what I mean? Like, is it actually haunted? Did anyone ever see a ghost, or it's paranormal, or is it just because fucking shady people hung out there? I don't know, but it is considered a psychic spot. So as far as the girl's concerned, that was where they're going. And I don't really know where they picked up the idea of going there. There's a couple different theories as to why they decided they were going to head up there. One was that they had heard about it from some friend a year or so ago, and this wasn't even their first time to go there. It was another time. There's this going there for the second time to go hang out. Like I said, it's fun the first time in the spray painted motorcycle gang abandoned building that they had to see it again.
Yeah, the meal's so nice they tasted it twice. Okay, well,
exactly.
Oof. They're like, let's go back to our game. Maybe we can get scooters.
You know, I think stuff like that might just be scary to Japanese people, because maybe they're not truly afraid of anything except for like laziness. Like if there's people like drinking and doing drugs there, like that's why they can just like watch, you know, The Grudge and just be like, oh, that was very relaxing.
Yeah.
And then they see somebody like sitting down and drinking, and they're like,
refreshment breaks in 20 minutes.
Yeah, working 145 hours a week does do.
Yeah. There's also a theory that the girls found out about the place in a magazine that described the hotel as the best liver test spot in Japan, or the best way to test your.
Okay, here's what's fucked up is if I'm an American in Japan, right? And I have a magazine and it says the best liver test spots, I'm fucking pumped. And I'm like, this is going to be some good fucking alcohol. And it ends up being a haunted house.
Yeah, no.
I would be so pissed.
That's why you have to read more than the headlines.
It's fucking
That's what reads the article.
Exactly. So, you know, it brought my beer hat for nothing. God damn, this is bullshit.
But like, also imagine being an American with like partial liver failure and just trying to like go and get that diagnosed.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness.
and then you just wind up just dying of fright.
Just a bunch of kids with scooters and pompadours. Like, what do you want?
Like,
I'm here for the liver test.
I've been having a bloody stool. Can you help me with that? Sure.
Oh my god.
Either way, this was their plan. They were going to go to this hotel, go scare themselves, see who the winner is. That afternoon, after her shift, Narumi purchases a pen light and some batteries for their trip to the haunted hotel. At 9 p.m., the girls both get into Megumi's black Subaru Vivio and start the 60-kilometer trip to Uozu. The pair are seen at various points over the next 2 hours. Once by friends at a local hangout for a couple minutes. They stopped in to say hi, and they are seen at another time at a gas station along the way. 96. This was in 1996. They both had pagers. You guys remember pagers?
Mm-hmm.
And they were communicating with their family via pager the whole time. And at 11 p.m., one of Megumi and Narumi's friends got a message from them saying, "We are in Uozu." Now, this is the last time anybody ever heard from the two girls. They vanished into thin air along with Megumi's Subaru. A couple days after they disappeared, Megumi and Narumi's family started to get worried and called the Toyama Prefectural Police. The first place the police went to look was obviously the hotel because they knew they were going there. There was no trace of the girls at all. The Vivio wasn't there. No footsteps, blood, any evidence at all. The girls had even been there, nothing disturbed at all. Police theorized that the girls ran off on their own and didn't want to do any further searches. They didn't want to waste the money or whatever manpower to go out and look. They're 19-year-old girls. If they're gone, they're gone. You can't find the car or nothing. They just went away, right?
Well, like also, I mean, they failed the liver test, so they're worthless in Japanese culture. There's no point in pursuing them.
Exactly.
It could either be like something incredibly spooky and supernatural, or maybe that little kid gang had the best cleanup crew ever. just like left its, because I've been through a Japanese airport before. When I was going to Thailand, we had like to walk through a connecting flight we had to stop off at Tokyo, and literally as the bunch of us were walking through, there are people behind us, a cleanup crew behind us, scrubbing and sweeping and cleaning and everything, like right as we're walking. I'm not making this up. Their airport spick and span clean. It's like brand new every day.
That's good though. We should be more crazy. Like the Japanese.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So their murder scenes. I mean, come on now. Their murder cases would be no different.
Exactly.
They're not leaving no clues. Like mop all this stuff up, the quick or pick her up.
Well, what if though? Like, what if they weren't normally that clean? They were just trying to insult you. Like they're just like,
we don't want any of this here. It's terrible.
So it took about a month for the police to take the girls' disappearance seriously, but the police actually did do two bigger searches, one in June and one in August. With these searches, the police looked with helicopters across the mountainsides and cliffs where a car could have went over. The searches conducted all along the coast between Himi and Uozu. Nothing, not even any sightings. They asked people that no one's seen them. And then this is when this became like a huge story in Japan. Over the years, these two girls and their Subaru have been missing. Many theories as to where they ended up were circulated in the media and opinion pieces, and were all over the place. One of the main theories was that North Korean operatives kidnapped them and brought them into sex slavery over into North Korea, which apparently was a huge fear in the 80s, Japan. There's a whole fucking Wikipedia page about like North Koreans stealing Japanese people in the 80s. Wow. So that sounds like it could be true. Like just maybe, who knows? That was on my. And then there was another story that they drove off a cliff into the ocean. Why else would they disappear? They kidnapped, like I said, a bunch of different stories. Ran off, like the police still at the end, they said they ran off and just went by themselves, and they just didn't want to see their family anymore. Then the case goes cold.
I love how the police are just making their answers up, like just as if the police possibly could know what's going on in their mind. It's like, yeah, you know what? They didn't want to see you guys anymore, and they're getting kind of bored, and your guys were too controlling, so they were like, fuck this, I'm out of here, bye.
I don't know why you have a distrust for the police.
That's true. Yeah, good point. That's true.
Yeah, so the case goes fucking cold. Probably could have used a better investigation team, is what I wrote here, for 24 years. And then on Wednesday, March 4th, 2020, the Toyota Prefectural Police used a crane to pull out a Subaru Vivio from the seabed at the Fukishi port in Imizu City. Imizu is about 13 kilometers, 8 miles from their home of Himi. The car had human remains scattered within. Along with the remains, there was a credit card receipt for gas. So at the place that had been seen at earlier, March 11th, The video was identified as Megumi's. About a month later, the Toyama Prefectural Police reported that a skull and pelvis were not left due to severe damage from the DNA analysis. Sorry, I'm reading a translation of this from the fucking Wikipedia. So it's
a translation from English to Richard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice of them. It's nice of them to leave the gas receipt and stuff. That's thoughtful. Like, hey man, this is how much you spend on gas. We'll spot you next time. We got you. We'll Venmo you. You'll be fine.
I find it crazy that the receipt lasted above a skull. You know what I mean? Like the receipt's a thin piece of paper. The skull's gone.
Yeah.
So the skull and pelvis were not left due to severe damage, but from the DNA analysis results detected a part of the femur and remaining remains. The body have been identified as the two girls who disappeared, referring to Narumi and Megumi. No cause of death could be determined because of the deterioration of the remains over the past 24 years. Why were they even looking at this port? This isn't where they were going, right? Interesting little part. So I started looking at that, and in 2014, so this was 2020 when they found them. In 2014, 3 witnesses came forward saying they saw 2 women drop into the sea with their Subaru back in 1996. One of the witnesses said that they approached the woman in their vehicle, but, quote, suddenly started moving backward and fell into the water. They came forward 18 years after the girls went missing. Why the witnesses didn't come forward sooner?
I don't feel like they would have been able to save them by then.
If they fell in the water.
I feel like it would have finished falling by the time they reported that.
Yeah. Plus, the receipt would have been gone. The receipt would have been gone completely. No more gas receipt. For sure. That would have been washed away.
Yeah, it takes 18 years for it to fall. Yeah, they probably got to the closest phone. They didn't have pagers
just
either.
In time.
So. Yeah. They said they were scared of being blamed for what happened.
So the best way to avoid that is to come forward 18 years later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Guilty as fuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now...
well, what's the statute of limitations on accidental death? It's 18 years, maybe?
Yeah, what is it?
This one here doesn't really have lots of evidence because, like I said, it's not really well known over here. So that being said, it doesn't really matter if there's lots of evidence or whatever. We're the private dicks. We can figure this shit out. No problem. We don't need evidence. We know it happened already, right? So I'll give you the theories that are on the internet.
So I was just gonna say, just sidebar. I figured it out right here. Yeah, the statute of limitations on death is actually 20 years. So they were close. They were close. They were close of they were almost in the clear. Yeah, and I was totally looking at a blank screen anyway, and there's I totally wasn't.
I don't know if there's a statute in Japan on. I know in North America, no statutes on murder, but or death or whatever.
So it looks like up until 2006, Japan had a 15-year statute of limitations on murder. It was extended to 25 years in 2006.
There you go.
So technically, they would have been in the clear.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, I was not that far off. That was
they also guesstimate. Seem like the reason for it to change.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
So there's a couple theories on the internet on this one. The first theory is obviously the unnamed witnesses killed the girls. Like of course they were involved, but the police say that they interviewed these people multiple times. The only quote I have from the police is this: "We know that the car fell into the sea for some reason, but at this time, no foul play is suspected." Sure, whatever, police. It looks like you guys put a lot of effort into this to begin with, so I feel like you're going to put a lot of effort into it now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, did you look at this? You look at this port area. It's a fairly contained area. If I saw a car roll into it and I knew that there were people inside, it's really not that hard to be like, all right, maybe call the police. Maybe someone there wants to jump in and try and get one of them out.
It's super deep at the port, though. Did you look? It's 8 feet deep.
It's only 8 feet deep
at the port. Yeah, it's fucking super deep.
8 feet is not super deep. I feel if I knew it was only 8 feet.
I was like,
I said feet, not feet. I meant meters. It was 8 meters deep.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about
to
say.
What is that in feet?
I was like, yeah, that sounds like my vertical right now. So I think I'm okay.
So 26 feet.
That's still, I mean,
if a car goes down, you won't see it. That's what I'm saying. It'll be gone. You won't see it from the surface. It's in the darkness.
Well, I mean, listen, it sounds like these people forgot about it immediately for 20 years.
They knew about it, for fuck's sakes, obviously. The family even suspects that it's them. Megumi's father is quoted as saying, "I don't trust the witnesses at all." Even though he's gone to the police and said, "Who are they? I want to talk to them." The police will not tell them who it was. They want to remain nameless. And Mr.
This is
Yashiki,
fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's insane.
Mr. Yashiki, he knows that's Megumi's father. He knows that even if he goes and talks to them, it doesn't really matter. Without any evidence, they can't do anything anyways. He's pretty much given up at this point on closing who did it, because he kind of thinks it's them and he can't really do anything about it anyway. So he kind of knows, he thinks he knows who did it. But there's a lot of weird stuff here. Like I said, the receipts still there. The skull and the femur aren't. The boat or the car was never seen for I don't know how long, 24 years or whatever, until 4 years prior. Did it actually go down 24 years ago, or did someone throw it there later on? Nobody really knows. You can't really tell because of deterioration.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question too. If it did go over at that time, you would think that at some point the car would, like, I don't think it would have just stayed there. It would have gotten moved based on, like, you know,
Yeah, it
water.
depends what's coming in, right? Like if there's big fucking boats, like I don't know. I don't know much about ports, so I can't really say much. I would assume it would stay there. It's a piece of metal, but who knows?
I'm not even sure that they're examining that receipt thoroughly, because the fact that it could be there for that long when pretty much everything else just completely like corroded and just faded out, and the receipts are still there, it's like that's a Riddler clue for sure. Like that receipt needs to be examined a lot more. There's something in there.
Okay, there's a couple reasons that receipt's in there, in my opinion.
Yeah,
really well preserved for whatever reason. I don't know, understand how paper underwater. Maybe it just had the perfect conditions to be preserved. Okay, unlikely to me, but maybe. Second thing, they were thrown in far later on their car and rolled into there so people would stop, or the police just say that there's a receipt there to try and get the family to have some sort of closure, even though they're never going to figure out what happened. They don't feel like doing it, so they just go, yes, it's definitely them, they had the receipts, leave us alone, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Well, I thought at the time Japanese receipts were printed on a data orb made of titanium that you would scan with your hollow pad.
Man, that is so 1981.
They were beyond that at that point. My bad.
Yeah, they're already doing space travel. They're up there right now.
In 96, they had Siri. It would be a Siri.
Yeah.
Question: did the Subaru start after they pulled it out of there?
Yeah. No.
Currently shopping for a vehicle, and that would really sway my opinion.
Can I store this underwater for 24 years? Let me know.
That's sometimes you got to know.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, Japanese cars, those things last forever. I'm telling you, we got the proof right there.
I'm telling you, and if that bad boy started purring, it would switch me over from a Mazda to a Subaru.
Oh, absolutely. My Volkswagen would be like, yeah, peace, Volkswagen. See ya. I'm going Japanese this time. Sorry, man.
Sick.
But the receipt is still there.
Theory number 2, the police are involved somehow. I saw some speculation on some forums that the police might be involved in this. It just seems so bungled that it can't be by accident. It has to be on purpose. You figure, and they got the tip in 2014, so it took them 6 years to even go back and check the tip. Maybe it was the fact that they just didn't think it was credible, and they said, okay, fine, we finally get it in the budget this year or something. Maybe they were trying to do it, and they just couldn't do it for a couple of years. Maybe they just fucked up the investigation, and instead of committing seppuku like a proud Japanese samurai, they cover up that they fucked up everything. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just that they said, oh fuck, that's actually down there, we could have checked this years ago, let's just get this going, right?
Yes, exactly. It's like, oh man, my god, it's like, I forgot about these coupons. I could have gone to the supermarket and saved so much on bok choy. Or just gotta move that to the side.
One of the witnesses is related to some sort of official, like a police officer or a mayor or something, and they know he's involved and they're covering up for him. I don't really know. Japanese are much more private than us. They, especially in 1996, like there's not as, like I trust me, I dug for this one a lot to get what I got. And so it's either A, police are involved, A, the witnesses, B, the police are involved somehow. Maybe with the witnesses, or they just don't give a fuck. Or theory number 3, ghosts possessed them. This theory goes that they actually made it to the hotel or to the mineral spring and got the haunt they wanted. More of a haunt than they wanted. They get possessed, right, by some little creepy girl in front of a TV or some shit. And then it chases them all the way to the port, like it follows or some shit. I don't know. They're there and they're in the the port parked for some reason. All right, they're all freaked out, and then these witnesses approach them, and they're so scared, blinded by whatever. Like maybe it's not actually like it's actually the guys going like, "Hey man, what are you doing? You need help?" But they think it's the fucking ghost, and they just put the fucking thing in reverse and drive their ass away, not realizing how close they are to the port, and kill themselves being haunted. And this is the whole haunted plan the whole time. You know what I mean? This is the ghost's plan. The ghost wants to kill them, scare them into killing themselves somehow.
Right.
And then the ghost, the Yurei, got them. You know what I mean? Classic horror movie stuff. That's one of the paranormal websites I was on. That's fun, right?
Right. It just sounds like they put a lot of effort into that script. You know what I mean? Because it's just like
sure.
it's just when you think it's like, no, I mean, when you think about like, okay, there's the police and government officials, but then you realize, holy shit, how much did the Yakuza have? How much influence do they have on society over there? Right. That cleanup and cover up seems way too, it's just, and then be like, yeah, it's the ghost that did it. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Like, you know, it's like, no,
it's the fun one. It's the fun. It's the what was the word? The Caden of the whole thing, right? It's the Caden version of what happened. The ghost scared them to the two little girls, and they went to places they shouldn't have went, and now they died. It's a story behind it. Whether obviously it's not true. I don't believe in hauntings. I don't know about you guys, but it's a fun one to say for a theory.
I mean, I don't rule it out, but at the same time, it's like it's especially because it's like, wow, these ghosts, like, is this our future when we die? We just become these asshole ghosts, like, and that's one of the reasons why I'm always skeptical about like the whole supernatural thing and stuff, because it's like, okay, let's say I die, I'm a ghost and something like that. Do I come out to, you know, everybody and be like, hey everyone, I'm a ghost, this is what the afterlife is like, this is how it goes here, this is what it feels like, blah blah blah, let's sit down, I'll sit down with you, we can talk about this? Or do I hang around in old abandoned houses, start slamming doors and throwing plates across the room and stuff, and just being this undead troll, you know?
Yeah.
I'm always, I don't know.
That sounds ideal, honestly. If there's any kind of
fuck them
afterlife.
kids.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
I mean, I'm not gonna be
That's the
happy
fun
about
one.
being dead. I might as well take it out on people who are alive.
Yeah, I feel like if you become a ghost though, you have to get Victorian era clothes on. Like as soon as you die, they're like, here, put this fucking big neck thing on, because
Fuck
nobody.
that. That's just that's just hell. That shit looks so uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's like
For eternity.
You're really gonna make me wear these chains?
Yeah.
My point is, I've never seen anyone wearing Chuck Taylors in the afterlife. I've never seen a hoodie.
I'll be the first.
Right. It's like,
there's no
dude, it's Christmas. I just want to chill, and you have me wearing these big giant chains and stuff.
Exactly.
Who is this
The
Scrooge
fucking
guy?
shirt made of starch. Like,
Yeah.
just the itchiest, stiffest. Like it feels like you're fucking have cardboard wrapped around you. No, thank you.
Yeah. Hard pass.
Yeah.
All right, we have two more theories here. The next one's the biker gangs, the Bosuzuku. Even though the Bosuzuku seem kind of hilarious, from what I understand, they were no joke back in the 80s and 90s. Like I was saying, at the height of their popularity, 1/3 of the Yakuza recruits were being seeded from these little greasers. That's a scary thing to think of. So Yakuza's got their fingers in all sorts of things, legal and illegal.
Not nearly as much as the Yuzuka do, though.
That's true. I mean, those dudes got scooters.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where they were
They,
getting.
they improvised. They evolved. I bet you that dude who was like, oh, we should bring back old Japanese traditions. Maybe that was like one of the Yakuza guys. He was just like, back in my day, we killed people with katana blades and swords. That's what we need
We got
to
to
do
bring
now.
back ancient Japanese traditions: swords, killing yourself, pompadours, motorcycles, traditional Japanese values.
Yeah. This theory goes more of the length of like, maybe they went to the hotel for their little scare fest and they walked in on some sort of drug dealer, some sort of illegal thing, and they had to get whacked by the mafia, basically put back in their car, dropped in the ocean at a neutral place. whatever. It's plausible, but I mean, it's not fun, and I don't like it. So no, fuck off with that one. But it is out there. The Bosozuku. You got to look them up. It's hilarious. Bosozuku. Or Z. I'm sorry, you guys don't understand.
No, I understand. I was raised in Canada.
I know you were. I'm talking to the other two. They're both Americans.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I couldn't understand that.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, you guys are what's Canadian. Important. Yeah. So the last theory is they're just idiots. Maybe the girls never made it to test their liver. Maybe they just decided they didn't want to go there anymore. They turn around, maybe they saw the biker gang at the hotel. Something scared them off. They're just like, fuck this, let's go back. So they go drive back and they stop in at this town. They stop at the port and they're like, oh, no one's here. Let's kind of see where we can go from here. Maybe it's still night's young, maybe they're lost, whatever. Right. And then these guys come up to their fucking window and go, what are you guys doing here? And they go, holy fuck, we're getting robbed. Put themselves in a reverse, fucking hit the gas pedal, drive their own asses into the ocean. And these guys go, we just scared these girls to death, basically. They drove themselves off. I'm not telling anyone. I didn't mean to scare them. Or maybe he did mean to scare. Maybe it was a prank. Maybe they were like, let's go scare these girls in this car. And the one guy like, okay. And he sneaks up behind. And then the other guy like comes up like, give me all your money. And the guy goes, boo, on the other side. And they go, fuck this, we're out. Who knows?
The other guys, one of them turns to the other. See, I told you this was a bad idea for a surprise party.
Exactly.
I told you.
But I mean, best liver testers ever, though, right? Like they would be.
Yeah. They tested the shit out of their liver.
Yeah, they killed them. I think it's probably more like, what if the driving into the port was the liver test? Like, what if they were just like, they were playing chicken, but if truly they were actually backing up, they just like, they couldn't exactly roll out of the car while it's like backing up. Yeah. So then maybe they just got kind of like swooped into it
or
that'd be just awkward. Like, they try to dive out.
Don't be a pussy. If you stop now, you lose. Keep going, bitch. Yeah. Keep going, bitch. Keep going, bitch. Oh shit, you went too far. We're dead.
Yeah,
exactly. Falling in midair. Keep going. You gotta get out yet.
You pussy. I win.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it.
Wow.
Awesome.
And that's the sound they made before they hit the water.
So
now, after hearing,
so my theory is I actually think it was our version of the liver test. I think they were just normal 19-year-olds. The legal drinking age in Japan is 20. I think they were out drinking with some friends. They were 15 minutes from their house, decided to park by the port, and they did what drunk kids do and not put their e-brake on. And that was the end of that.
Backwards yeah, it could be that too. Like,
and I think maybe the people that saw it maybe they were all just drinking there, right? It was all underage kids drinking there. That's why they didn't turn it in right away. And
could be, honestly. I agree, because they used to go hang out. Like, remember I said they took a pit stop, it was near, but I'm just saying it doesn't really matter. In their little city, Kimi, the kids used to hang out near the port and talk all the time. So maybe they were just in that city. Maybe this is where the kids hang out and they went here and no one was there. And
if I had to guess, the reason that the witnesses were kept secret and that, if this was what happened, they didn't tell the parents if they knew that there was alcohol involved, is because, Japanese culture is really big on shame. So why make the parents go through that?
So they killed themselves?
No, I think it was their own fault. Sure. I think they were drinking and.
Oh, I thought maybe you were implying that they drank and then they were so ashamed that they seppuku.
No. I think the police aren't giving all the information to the parents, because why push that further shame?
Right.
Yeah, and you're right. There's cultural differences there, so you don't want to tell them like they're idiots and they accidentally fell off. So it's more acceptable in their culture to be like they were kidnapped or they were whatever the fuck it was, right? They had to run away from some villain and they heroically got away, but unfortunately they had to die at this port. Be less. That's a realistic answer. But I like that they got spooked and scared into the water by these guys, and they went, "Ooh, not gonna say anything about that. Whoopsie doozy."
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, you guys in here? Oh, this is.
Or I also
awkward.
like the chicken Kimodameshi where they're like Kimodameshi, where they're both like, stop, I dare you to stop, don't stop, you bitch. I like both of those. But I don't think there's any real mystery. I think accidentally fell into the water, whatever reason. No one really. It's not like we had cell phones for them to be like, we stopped in to get a bite or something. I don't know why they're in that town, but there was a reason, and they accidentally.
Yeah. Check the receipts, people. The receipts. The answer is there. I'm telling you, the Japanese version of the Riddler, he's just sitting there, just annoyed out of his mind, just like, they fucking won't figure it out. I literally put a clue there.
I did some research into receipt printing at the time.
Of course, you fucking did.
There is one type of.
Was it printed on 42-pound semi-translucent?
No, so all receipt paper is called thermal paper, right? But there is one type of printing called dye sublimation. I can't find out whether it was at that time used in Japan, but if it were, dye sublimation is completely waterproof, and so it's thermal paper. So if it were printed on it, it would last long enough to be.
I'm telling you. See, now we're getting into it. Next thing you know, we're going to be finding something that we have to decode there, in the paper and stuff. I'm telling you, guys, we're on something.
I don't know. I was expecting something with a little more meat there. I don't think figuring out how this receipt survived is going to make Morgan Freeman happy. But
well, I was trying to figure out whether or not a receipt could survive, or if it was like that long in water, or if it was a plant, as if somebody dumped the car, threw the receipt in that they had in their car, just to make it seem like, oh shit, this car was here the whole time, right? This is the date linkage. But it really, I mean, it still could be the receipt was already in the car. They dumped the car and.
Right.
It seems weird that a car is in the exact location that witnesses saw it 18 years prior. The way that water moves, I would think that it would get shifted.
It would get washed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that it's really weird.
This is why it's such a big story over there, because it is really mysterious. Like there's really no real answer to the whole thing except for whatever we decide right now, because that'll be the official answer to the whole thing. We solve everything all the time.
That's right.
Yes.
So whatever it comes down to from here, we can actually get Morgan Freeman to use his godly powers to go tell the Japanese officials we can put this bad boy to bed.
Listen, if the Japanese were smart, they'd be monitoring their ports better. I mean, who knows what could be coming at their ports at any moment,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's
is this where you're getting your Pearl Harbor joke in? Is this where you're getting the Pearl Harbor joke in?
I was waiting.
No, they're the ones attacking ports. Is that what you're trying to say right now?
Did any of you decide to check the receipts? Now, I was sitting there,
Morgan!
I just decided to make an entrance. I'm sorry. I heard JP talking about receipts, and after listening to what you were saying, I think that maybe the secret's in the receipt. I think we can find it.
All right, good pull, Rick.
Let me take it up to my cloud, and then I'll see what I can do. I'm in my cloud I have a MacBook.
Free, thank you. Cool. Thanks very much for that. That was easy, right? We solved that for you, no problem. You should. I
already know who did it. And I'm God. Remember?
That's correct.
That's right. And you remember what he did say? He said it made him sad. So maybe the mystery all along was just how to cheer up Morgan Freeman.
That's true. That's a possibility. I do like being happy.
Did we cheer you up?
Kind of.
Can I have your phone number?
I mean, yeah, if you want to. I'm kind of seeing somebody right now, but I'm flattered. But I'm sure we could hang out. We could hang out as friends. And
I told my wife, you're my one exception. Morgan Freeman ever wants to fuck, I'd be down. We're allowed.
Oh, believe me, I'm totally finna smash. Absolutely, I'm ready to smash anytime you want. Absolutely, I will clap those cheeks.
Let's get to that. I live across the street. Guys, thanks for helping me.
Yeah, get laid by Morgan Freeman, of course.
What was the social again? At I am JP Brown.
At this is JP Brown.
This is JP Brown. This is JP Brown. So there you go. Awesome.
Yeah.
And at Morgan Freeman, if you want to talk to Mo.
At Mo Free.
Yeah.
I just watched Private Dicks, and I think RJ is the funniest.
What? Come on.
Hey there, all you private dickheads. That's probably not the name we're gonna stick with. Anyways, RJ here. I am here to tell you thank you for listening to another episode of Private Dicks. If you liked what you heard, go on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere they take your reviews, drop us 5 stars, say something nice. Also, what you just heard was from last season. If you want current episodes as they're dropped, head on over to patreon.com and search up Unethical Podcast. That's our mother podcast. I was not aware Private Dicks was a spinoff. I'm going to renegotiate my contract. On Patreon is a full 16-episode season, more of Private Dicks, uncut videos of each episode, and many more things are getting added all the time. You can also find all of Unethical's content on there, so go listen to that. And if you're already a patron, fuck yeah, dude. You're the best.